My name is Ring Maya. I'm the chairperson for the South Sudanese Community Association in Victoria. The Channel 7 Sunday night report on the so-called African gangs has yet risen sorrow, shame to the community on the past negative events perpetuated by the media outlets in Victoria. The African gangs, as coined by the media, is biased, misconstrued phrases of the African Australian young people in Victoria as well as Australia at large. The media does not advance the interest of African Australian and friends. Instead, the Channel 7 is continuously demonizing our whole African Australian communities. The media does not advance the interest of African Australian and friends. Instead, of Channel 7 is continuously demonizing the whole African Australian communities. The African Australian community, especially the South Sudanese community, leadership has condemned the actions and the role of Channel 7 in spreading negatively upon the African Australians. We are proud and a strong community that observe the rule of law, respect the diversity of Victorian state. Hence, we are entitled to the human rights and values including dignity, integrity, justice, equality, prosperity for the common good of the multicultural community. Yes, some South Sudanese Australian young people have issues, but they need to be helped, nurtured, raised morally upright through supporting their parents and the community. However, we do not deserve to be punished collectively. It is hard to think of arena of Australian public life where small communities such as ours being systematically subjected to extreme media vilifications, discriminations, racisms, including outright collective punishment for the wrongdoing of a few. My community in the state of Victoria is poorly represented or advocated for across political divide in the country. Sunday night investigation did not come out of the blue. This is happening as Victorians expected to vote in the upcoming state election. South Sudanese community has long been used for political spins and political gains. This time around, as a community, our community will not succumb to surrendering to biased media reporting or accept victimizations, whether advertently or directly. Yet this scandalous state of affairs generate a little way of investigations, censors, or legal scrutiny under the Australian Discrimination Act 1975 and Victoria Equal Opportunity Act 2010. South Sudanese people, their community leaders and representatives are aware of their obligations to Australia. Furthermore, the South Sudanese leaders often state that their achievements are always overlooked despite their contribution to the cultural and economic success. The majority of South Sudanese are law-abiding, hard-working taxpayers and value economic independence. Many people have abandoned their old way of life in pursuit of integrations and to be a part of a broader Australian culture. In fact, they consider themselves as a proud Australian who uphold its values, but they feel unwelcome by media vilification when they try to connect with the wider Australian community. Despite these positive efforts, South Sudanese community still faces prejudice in Australia. Recent proposed recommendation to the Racial Discrimination Act to bolster fear over racism, including the tightening criteria for the Australian citizenship. This comes when the media continue to launch vicious attacks against South Sudanese Australian youth, ratcheting up fear, mistrust, and cultural insecurity that existed in Victoria today. We call upon media outlets and Australians to demonstrate social justice to all African Australians and addresses issues that are affecting the community collectively. We know that great challenges remain along the path of full realization of human rights. I have outlined some of the most daunting among them, including those that absorb our energy and attention, as a priority matters within the Australian system. I would like African Australians to be very vigilant and work toward nurturing and supporting our young people. But we vow not to the media perpetuate racism, prejudice and stigma and discrimination. Thank you so much.
My name is Emmanuel Kondok, the president of the Southern Sudanese Community of New South Wales. I would like to thank the leadership of Southern Sudanese in Victoria, the African communities. I came to join my counterpart in solidarity to support them in vilifications of Southern Sudanese young people, African young people, and any other person. We do not tolerate this. These issues by Channel 7 since 2007. We do not tolerate it. We condemn it seriously with a stronger term, and we don't want it happening. We are all human beings. Any person in Australia needs to be treated with respect, with dignity, as a person. Thank you.